What's going on, guys? This is Dewey from Discrot. Today I'm going to be doing a teardown, cleanup, and unboxing of some SEGA Genesis Model 2s that I picked up off of eBay. If you just want to see the cleaning portion of this, you can skip to
10:02.
And if you're still here, before I get into anything, I just want to say shout out to a YouTuber named Adam Koralik. He's the one who has done a lot of other videos, such as how to get the best quality out of your old systems, how to clean SEGA Genesises, Nintendos, etc., etc. So he's kind of the reason that I'm doing this. So shout out to Adam. Other than that, the other reason I'm doing this is because not a lot of high quality videos on the internet exist where someone is doing a cleaning video of most of these consoles. There are a few, but they're just of low quality. So I'm gonna do my own little twist on it and release something that can be used as a reference point from now on that's a little bit nicer looking. But without further ado, let's get into the unboxing. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get into this. You can always tell when a package is sent by someone who's competent when they use a lot of duct tape. So I'm really excited to see how the rest of this is shipped. Let's just go into it. There's actually something on the side here that looks like it has like one Wii, Genesis 2. So I guess this was, most of the time when you buy these things, it's from like thrift stores and stuff like that. So there's going to be a ton of different stuff. Let's see, I'm gonna try and, yeah, I hope I don't break anything. God, this seems excessive. I have a very bad feeling about how this was packed, but maybe I'll be surprised. Oh, that looks good. There's a manila envelope. Let's, huh. Now that's interesting. All right, so it's not the worst packing job. I guess they could have just, when I was messing around with them and like I could hear them moving around, I was thinking that there was nothing in here, but I guess they put in these manila envelopes. All right, and this is a holder plate. All right, so, ooh. So not too bad. This one's really scratched up, but you know, that's what we're here for. A little nicer looking one, less scratches. For most of these, I can probably part them out for whatever doesn't work. This one lost its logo. But yeah, I can usually part out what doesn't work and try and get the best one. It looks like someone like dragged these through the dirt or something like that. This AV output looks weird. Have to jiggle power. So that might be something where I just have to solder something in there or just screw something on a little bit tighter. But you know, we'll figure it out once we get to the cleaning. AV port. Oh yeah, I see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there's like a cracked AV port where you get your video. So that's kind of weird, but we'll figure out something. It might work, it might not. This one's just dusty, has some hair in it. So, not too bad. You know, all this stuff is cosmetic and all it really takes is some soap and some water and then you can clean these up and they'll look good as new. Anyways, I guess that's the unboxing portion. I'm surrounded by SEGA Genesises. I guess at this point, we can either go into the cleaning or I can just go ahead and test some of these and see how they work. So I got my CRT hooked up, and before anyone says anything in the comments, this is not how I would play this. If I were going to play a SEGA Genesis, I would probably use some other cables, a different setup to get the best picture. So there you go. This is just for testing purposes. And for testing purposes, I'm going to be using my copy of Sonic 2. So let's throw this boy in here. This is the first one I'm going to be testing, and it says, works with no light. This usually doesn't happen. I swear, this doesn't happen. All right, so number one, it's a no-go so far. So this is going to be testing number two. This one has a note that says it has to be jiggled to have power, but we're going to go for it. It's pretty good, yeah. All right, so I guess now we're just gonna test the first controller port. Boom! It works. And there's a light. Just because it says it has to jiggle the power, I'm gonna test this out real quick. It's fine. It's fine. Next one. All right, this is number 3. It has the same note from the other one where it says it has to jiggle the power. So let's see how this goes. Yep, this one I can definitely feel it's super loose here. So that's gonna be something that we're gonna have to try and fix once we tear it down and clean it up. All right, number 4. Let's do it. It worked. What? Usually once you get to this part, it's usually... Spoke too soon. I was about to say, cool. So this might actually be something with the actual cartridge because it's turning on, it's doing a little bit. All right, this is where it messed up before. Let's see what we can get. Come on. Yeah, okay. Like I said, these things are super easy to clean. Obviously there's still cosmetic stuff, but I just did a few seconds of like cleaning the inside of it and now it works. So this is number 5 and it doesn't have anything on it saying what's wrong with it, so hopefully it just works. Let's try it out. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that's a good sign. Cool. That's try. All right, this is number 6? 6. This is number 6. All right, we get a little flicker, but nothing else. Looks like number 6 might be a no-go until we clean it, and we'll see. So this is number 7, and this is the one that kind of had the weird AV out. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up, but it's protruding out of it. I've never seen this. It's weird, but I don't know. Feels almost as if I can't put it in there. There's no note on this one either. All right, so as you see right here, this is just like protruding from out of the back of it, and I can't really get it in there. I can't get the AV cable in there without, you know, feeling like I might ruin something. So what I'm gonna do probably is when I take this apart, I'm just gonna look at how I can maybe push that back in there and make it, you know, look a little bit better and actually get the AV port in there. It did power on, but until I get in there, undo everything and clean it, I'm just gonna have to say 7 is a no-go. So this is another one that the AV port is broken on. You probably can't see it, but inside of there, it's just broken up and I can see some pins that look like they're meshed. So this is most definitely, definitely not gonna work. But I'm gonna see if it at least turns on. And then, you know, worst case scenario, I can take some parts from another one, replace some stuff, and see if I can't get this one working. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's odd that it would even turn on. Oh, it actually worked. That's crazy. I'm gonna test to see if it actually works after I get past the screen and all that. But yeah. All right. I'm gonna see what happens when I'm messing around with the AV port, cause. All right, somehow it works, but I don't know how I feel about this. Boom, we're here. So first thing we need to do is take off the sticker that was here, which I already did. Thankfully, I could just take it off with my fingernail. Sometimes you're going to need a Goo Gone kind of stuff to get stickers and tape and stuff like that off, but make sure you get the right kind, because I've definitely messed up a few cases just because it's taken off the actual plastic. First step I would say is to take off this little plastic part right here that hides the part for the SEGA CD to go in. Normally you'll have a little red kind of cover for this right there. Unfortunately this one doesn't have it, so I'm just going to take that off, and usually I'll just wash both of them, but you have to wash that piece. Then there's the 4 screws right here, so I'm just going to get into those. Here we go. All right, so for this next part, we're gonna take the lid, turn it on over, and if you look right here, there are 2 pins right there, and another 2 right there. This is gonna hold the reset button and then the power button right there. You just kind of push those in. If they don't come out immediately, you can just take a screwdriver, pop out the middle, and then they come out right there. The next part is going to be these 3 screws on the cartridge holder. Put those buttons to the side, and you just unscrew those. Cool, so now we're gonna get to the RF shielding, which is this metal stuff. There is 1, 2, 3 screws right here. There's 1, 2 on the side. There's 2 up here, and then there's 1 more right here on the other side right here. So we're just gonna unscrew those and get into it. Cool, so we're at the board now. What you're gonna wanna do is take this guy off. Sometimes you kind of have to like finagle it. But before we do that, you have to take off these 2 bigger screws that are holding the cartridge button. All right, now that we got those out, we can fully take it off. I'm probably gonna take some canned air and just dust the board as well as this lower part. So what we're gonna do is take this bottom part and these RF shieldings, just throw them in the soapy water, get them a little wet, clean them up a little bit, and then we're gonna move on to the board, which I'm gonna be using Q-tips and Windex to clean. Cool, so now we're just gonna go over the whole board with a Q-tip and just sort of clean up any of the dust that is on the board. And just so you guys know, it is important to keep the board away from water. Obviously, it is a piece of electronics, so the less contact it comes with water, the better. So that's kind of why I moved over here. So after we've kind of dusted over the board with the air duster and the Q-tip, we're going to take some of this Windex or whatever window cleaner you have, spray it onto the Q-tip. I'll do that over here. And then we're going to go over the important parts. It's most important to go over the contact of where the SEGA CD goes. So this is going to be the bottom, and then the top is going to be right here. Then after we're done getting it with the Windex, so sometimes I have problems just getting in with the Q-tip. So what sometimes I'll do is I'll take a paper towel, do the same thing, put some Windex on it, and then I'll get into the smaller cracks. Maybe even put it into like a point so it can get in there. So everything's been sitting here for over an hour. It's all dry. Main important part about this process is make sure that everything is dry before you reassemble it, because the worst thing you can do is put it all together and be wet and then fry your motherboard, because this will all be for nothing if that's the case. So we're just gonna go ahead and start reassembling. So for this next part, as you can see, it's basically completely clean. There are a little bit of scuff marks here and there, and for that we're gonna take this Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and just kind of buff everything out. Before you do this, make sure that you know that this is basically a very, very fine sandpaper, so it will take off logos, and if you go over this glossy part, it will just totally take that off. So we're basically just going over the whole thing really lightly and focusing on the areas where there's little bits of marks and stuff like that still there. Some of the stuff, you know, obviously you won't be able to get out. Sometimes there's going to be deep, you know, scratches and stuff like that. But this will help take care of most of the little scuff marks and stuff like that. So the next part is we're going to be taking this 1-up card, putting some Windex in the bottom of it, and then just going in and out of the cartridge slot to clean those pins that are inside of it. Ooh, that's just one go right there. So obviously there was a little bit of gunk in there. So we're just gonna clean it up some more and keep going. And just so you guys know, I'm not sponsored by, or this was not sent to me by a 1-up card. I'm just using it because I just didn't want to use the other method, which is usually a credit card where you put felt around it and then stick it into the pins. I felt like this was just easier, and because I'm gonna be doing a lot of this, why not? But I do recommend it. And 1-up, if you want to send me some free stuff, go ahead. Just get in contact with me. I'll contact you. You contact me. We'll talk. Last step. We're going to be throwing some pledge on this baby. Now, it looks good as it is right now, but why not go the extra mile and try and make it look like it just came out of the box the day it was released? I'm also not sponsored by Pledge. Also, shout out to Adam. Orange Pledge. So as you can see, she cleaned up great. Any scuffs and stuff like that, I just use the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to kind of buff out. And after I put on some of the Pledge, gave it a nice glossy look, it actually turned out really awesome. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you have any questions about what I did, any ideas of other videos I can make sure to just comment them and I'll try to get to them. You can follow me at DiscRot on Twitter and on Instagram. But anyways, this is DiscRot. I'm Dewey. Have a great one.